don't know why everybody keeps trying to make Tyler Perry out to be some black saint. The simple fact that he used and misused and abused the black community, especially the churches, and the only church he ever really gave big donations to was TD Cakes, another freak-off veteran who come to bless the baby.
I wasn't the first one. This has a reputation for trying to get comedians to sell out of court and pay her. It's plants. Always. If it's violence at a comedy show, it is a plant. The ticket said comedy show, did not say serious show.
Tyler Perry told his male actors they're not allowed to consort with me because I saw you at a Diddy party, Tyler, and you were having a glorious time.
This isn't just another regular day in entertainment. This is a full-blown earthquake shaking up Hollywood. Two of the most outspoken, fearless comedians out there, Katt Williams and Eddie Griffin, are teaming up and going straight for the jugular. Their target, Tyler Perry. And trust me, they're not sugarcoating a single thing. This isn't your usual celebrity spat or petty beef. Oh no, this is something deeper, something Eddie Griffin says he feels in his bones. He's calling out what he sees as a system built to keep his people down, and he's pointing right at Tyler Perry's empire as part of that problem. Eddie's done with the polished public image, done with the narrative that paints Perry as the savior of black entertainment. He's saying enough is enough. According to Eddie, there's a dark side behind that billion-dollar brand, one filled with harmful stereotypes, fake empowerment, and straight-up exploitation. And guess what? Katt Williams is right there with him, ready to double the volume. Katt's been in these trenches before, and now he's backing Eddie up with everything he's got. Together, they're calling for something bigger than just laughs. This is about truth, respect, and representation. They want to strip away the Hollywood gloss and reveal what's really happening behind those studio doors. This isn't tea, this is a revolution in the making. Eddie and Katt have both hit their breaking point. They've seen how the system chews up young black talent and spits them out. They've watched the gatekeepers play their manipulative games, dangling fame like bait, only to crush dreams and silence real voices. The Hollywood glam has faded for them, exposing a harsh reality that's hard to ignore. And now they're done keeping quiet. They're speaking out not just for themselves, but for everyone who's ever been disrespected, underpaid, or pushed aside in this industry. They say this isn't about grudges, it's about justice. It's about making sure the next generation doesn't fall into the same trap. Eddie and Katt are taking aim at a system they believe was built to keep black entertainers beneath a ceiling that's long overdue to shatter. They want accountability, they want real change, and they're ready to go up against some of the biggest names in Hollywood to make it happen. To really understand how deep their frustration runs, you have to look back at the history of black comedy in Hollywood. Shows like Martin, Malcolm and Eddie, and The Jamie Foxx Show weren't just funny, they were groundbreaking. They brought real, authentic black voices into the mainstream when that was nearly impossible. They showed the world that black stories had power, humor, and heart. Back then, networks like UPN became synonymous with black entertainment, giving a platform to talents who might have never been seen otherwise. For a while, it felt like progress, but that dream didn't last long. Once those shows started making money and hitting mainstream success, networks pulled the plug or switched gears, trading black-led programming for safer, whiter content. It was like watching a door open just to be slammed shut again. Eddie Griffin's been loud about this kind of exploitation for years. He's called out how Hollywood uses black talent when it's trendy, then tosses them aside when they're done profiting off their work. He's seen it firsthand. His own show, Malcolm and Eddie, was a success. Fans loved it, ratings were solid, but it never got the push or respect that similar white-led sitcoms received. That, he says, is the perfect example of what's broken in the system. Eddie's not bitter, he's tired. Tired of the industry pretending to care about diversity while quietly pulling the same old moves. And now, with Katt Williams by his side, he's turning that frustration into fire. Together, they're saying what a lot of people have whispered for years, that the system doesn't need reform, it needs a total reset. because for them, this isn't just comedy anymore. It's war for the soul of black entertainment. Eddie Griffin isn't just calling out hypocrisy. He's ripping the mask right off Hollywood. He says the entire system feeds off black creativity while keeping black talent boxed in and controlled. And when it comes to that system, he's not afraid to name names. According to Eddie, Tyler Perry, the man many celebrate as a pioneer for black creators, might actually be part of the problem. Yeah, you heard that right. Eddie claims Perry's empire doesn't just represent success, it represents a pattern that profits from black talent while quietly exploiting it. He's not saying Perry's just made a few bad calls. He's accusing him of helping to uphold a system that's been broken for decades. These aren't casual comments. Eddie's basically saying that Perry's empire might be built on control, manipulation, and intimidation. And now, the whispers in Hollywood are turning into shouts. People who've worked with Perry or watched his moves up close are speaking out, and what they're saying is not pretty. This isn't about tough negotiations or business misunderstandings. These insiders are hinting at something darker: power plays, secret deals, and artists being pressured to sign contracts that make Perry richer while leaving them with crumbs. Some even claim careers were quietly destroyed, reputations tainted, and doors slammed shut, all for daring to challenge the king. And with Perry's connections, taking him down sounds almost impossible.
Tyler's a gangster too, because Tyler, I think, has done more. In our lifetime, man, in this generation, I don't think there's been anybody black that's been more successful than this dude in terms of ownership. Now, the queen was Oprah for a long time. Right. Oprah ain't no joke. But she teaches it to us. She done told me, Steve, gotta get ownership. That's Tyler's whole mantra, but I think what Tyler finna do of late gonna change the game. He finna go past.
But wait, it doesn't stop there, because there's the Oprah connection. Let's be honest, nobody wants smoke with Oprah, but some in the industry are whispering that her partnership with Perry isn't just business, it's strategy. They're saying it's a power alliance designed to control the narrative and silence certain stories before they ever see daylight. And if you need proof something's off, look no further than Monique, because her story might just be Exhibit A. Monique, a powerhouse actress who stole the show in Precious, became the face of what happens when you say no to the wrong people. She gave an unforgettable Oscar-winning performance, but when she refused to campaign for the movie, things took a nasty turn. She says she wasn't contractually required to do press runs, interviews, or festivals, and she wasn't about to give up precious time with her family to do unpaid promo work. Sounds fair, right? Especially since she took the role for just $50,000 when Precious was still a small independent project. But once Oprah and Tyler Perry joined as executive producers and the film blew up, they expected her to play along with the Hollywood game, flying out, smiling for cameras, and boosting awards buzz for free. Monique stood her ground and said, "If you want me to promote it, then pay me." Simple as that. But that's when the whispers started turning into daggers. According to Monique, her refusal to bow down made her a target. She claims that Perry and Oprah used their massive influence to quietly blacklist her, spreading word that she was difficult and shutting her out of opportunities. And let's be real, when Hollywood hears that Tyler Perry and Oprah think you're trouble, your phone stops ringing fast. That difficult label is like a curse in this business, and once it sticks, it's hard to shake off. Monique said it herself. "What I was not going to do was make Hollywood the priority." She recounted her talk with Perry at the Neighborhood Awards, saying, "I told him I'm not in the business of working for free." She says they hugged it out and agreed there was no problem. But soon after, the blackballing began. She said, "When they knew I wasn't going to be the one to say, because it's them, I gotta do it, that's when the blackball came." From that point, her career hit a wall. Monique says she started hearing that dreaded phrase, difficult to work with, spreading through the industry like wildfire. And the crazy part, she believes Tyler Perry himself was behind some of those whispers, even warning other directors to stay away. She specifically mentioned Perry bad-mouthing her to filmmaker David E. Talbert. That's some cold behind-the-scenes sabotage. And what about Oprah? Monique said she never heard Oprah directly say anything bad about her, but the silence was loud enough. Oprah's voice carries serious weight in Hollywood, and by staying quiet through it all, some people believe she was indirectly giving Perry her blessing to handle it however he wanted. That kind of quiet power can be just as damaging as public criticism. Still, even with all that pain and betrayal, Monique says she's chosen forgiveness. She's not out here trying to ruin anyone. She's just telling her truth. She's spoken about letting go of resentment toward Perry, Oprah, and even Precious director Lee Daniels. But that doesn't erase the bigger picture this whole situation paints. Her story shines a light on the unspoken power dynamics in Hollywood, where standing your ground can cost you everything, and where even the strongest voices can be silenced by influence and money. Whether or not every accusation can be proven in court doesn't change the fact that too many people are saying the same thing. The pattern is clear, and it makes you wonder, what's the real price behind all that success? And who's paying for it? It's wild how fast your reputation can crumble in Hollywood. One wrong move or one refusal to bow down, and suddenly your whole career's on life support. Monique's story is living proof that even holding an Oscar in your hand doesn't shield you from the quiet power plays of the industry's elite. She said it herself. Let me be clear, I love those people. We love those people. My husband and I love them. They're our brothers and sisters. But then she added something powerful. Mama, we ain't calling nobody out, we're calling them up. That's her way of saying this fight isn't about hate, it's about accountability. But let's be real, that patience didn't last forever because Monique finally snapped. According to TMZ, she straight up exploded on Oprah and Tyler Perry during a recent stop on Katt Williams' Dark Matter comedy tour. And baby, she went in hard. This wasn't a few slick jokes or side comments. This was a scorched earth speech that had jaws dropping. She unleashed every bit of anger she'd been bottling up for years, letting the world know exactly how she felt. Then she took it even further. She got the whole crowd chanting some wild, unfiltered stuff about Oprah and Perry. We're talking full-on chaos, the kind of scene that makes headlines and gets people choosing sides.
You Oprah Winfrey, you Tyler Perry. Whoa! Don't say that with me. You Oprah Winfrey, you Tyler Perry, you mother.
And when Monique saw that some folks in the crowd were hesitating, not ready to bash Oprah, she wasn't having it. She called them out right there, mocking their hesitation like, oh, you still riding the Oprah train after everything. It was savage, and the crowd didn't know whether to laugh or hold their breath. But here's where things got really confusing, kid, because after all that name-calling and heat, Monique insisted it all came from a place of love. Wait, what? She basically said her outburst wasn't about hate, but about wanting to bring truth and healing to the community. The audience didn't know what to make of it. Was this a call for justice or a full-blown personal vendetta dressed up as activism? Then Monique switched gears again and went after Oprah's inner circle, especially her best friend, Gayle King.
And every time you see Oprah, you see Gayle. Best friends, is what they say. I've never seen best friends like that. We ain't seen Stephanie in 30 motherfucking years. Who is loving Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King? Each other!
That move raised even more eyebrows. People started wondering, what's Monique's real end game here? Is she trying to expose a bigger truth? Or is she just done playing nice with the most powerful woman in entertainment? Either way, she's not backing down.
But we don't want to say this out loud because it's Oprah Winfrey. I'm too old to be scared of this. I'm too old to be intimidated by this. I'm too old to hold the mother truth. I love that black raggedy bitch. I love that black simple-minded mother. I love Oprah Winfrey's black. And we just need to bring her back to black.
And if you thought it couldn't get any messier, it did. In the middle of her rant, Monique singled out a man in the audience named Melvin. Yeah, she literally called him out mid-show and used his excitement as backup for her tirade.
Are you an Oprah Winfrey fan? Yes. Okay, well, I'm not apologizing for any motherfucking thing I say. What's your name, brother? Bill. What did you say? Melvin.
Like his support was proof she was justified. Then she dropped the phrase, "Bring Oprah back to black." And that line set the internet on fire. What did she mean by that? People started debating instantly. Was she accusing Oprah of selling out, of aligning too much with white Hollywood, of losing touch with the community that built her up? Whatever the meaning, it hit a nerve. Because it wasn't just shade, it was a statement packed with decades of cultural tension.
We need you to help us bring that back to black. I need you to bend her the over and her like a Nashville, Tennessee would and bring that back to black.
But Monique didn't stop at the stage. She took her story further on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay, where she spilled even more tea, this time about Oprah's behavior during the Precious Award season. According to Monique's husband, Sidney Hicks, Oprah didn't seem happy about Monique's Oscar win at all. He claimed Oprah looked irritated, almost jealous, like she couldn't stand seeing the spotlight shift away from her. That's a bold claim, and it paints a picture of a rivalry most people never saw coming. Monique backed that up with her own experiences, saying she noticed a change in Oprah's energy after her big win. Then came the jaw-dropping part. Monique revealed she lost a major role in The Butler, a film directed by Lee Daniels, because of Oprah. The role, she says, was meant for her, until Oprah stepped in and took it. When Monique confronted Daniels, he allegedly told her he didn't have the power or money to say no to Oprah. If that's true, that means Oprah wasn't just a producer or mentor. She was pulling strings behind the curtain. And get this, it didn't stop with The Butler. Monique said the same thing happened again with a Richard Pryor biopic, another role she was supposed to land. Gone, just like that. She believes she was quietly pushed out of projects through backdoor moves and influence plays. Taken together, these stories paint a pattern that's hard to ignore, a pattern of power being used to silence competition. And where's Tyler Perry in all of this? Dead silent. That's what's making people question everything. If he's as powerful and respected as everyone says, why didn't he step in? Why didn't he use his voice to back Monique when she was being blackballed? Especially if he's supposed to be Oprah's close friend and trusted ally. He could have easily said, let's make this right, but he didn't. And that silence is louder than any statement. Now the question hanging in the air is, what does Tyler Perry really stand for? Is he just another player in the game, protecting his empire while others fall? Or is he afraid to cross the same powerful forces that Monique's calling out? Either way, one thing's clear. Monique isn't backing down, and the Hollywood hierarchy just got shaken again. It's starting to look like Tyler Perry might not be the humble, uplifting figure he's always painted himself to be. These new claims flip that image upside down, suggesting he didn't just stand by during Monique's downfall, but allegedly helped orchestrate it. People are saying he teamed up with Oprah to sideline her, blacklist her, and crush her career momentum. That's not brotherly behavior. That's cold, calculated business. Instead of supporting a fellow creative, the accusation paints Perry as someone who chose power over principle. And that's exactly why so many folks are now questioning his motives, his integrity, and his real dedication to the same black community he claims to uplift. The Monique situation, they say, is just the tip of the iceberg, the spark that's exposing a much bigger fire. Recent comments from both Tyler Perry and director Lee Daniels have people side-eyeing how they use their privilege. Many are saying that once they made it, they forgot where they came from. They climbed the ladder and then pulled it up behind them. Some even claim Perry and Daniels lean on their status and even gender to distance themselves from the very people who helped them rise to fame in the first place. And here's where things get even more twisted. Critics say Perry's been using a dangerous narrative, blaming struggling black artists for not achieving what he has. That if I did it, you can too mentality sounds inspiring on the surface, but under it lies a harsh truth. It ignores the massive systemic barriers that still keep so many out. It's basically saying, if you're not winning, it's your fault, while completely overlooking racism, favoritism, and Hollywood's tight control over who gets a real shot. People are calling this a betrayal, not just of individuals, but of the community itself. Because when someone as powerful as Tyler Perry downplays the real struggles, it sends the wrong message. It feeds into the same old system that sidelines black talent and keeps the gatekeepers comfortable. This isn't just about one man's attitude anymore. It's about a mindset, one that quietly reinforces the very discrimination he once claimed to fight against. And then there's another major issue, Perry's long-running use of cross-dressing comedy. Yeah, the Medea character made him a household name, but not everyone's laughing. Many critics, especially in the black community, say that having black men dress as loud, angry women for laughs only continues a painful stereotype that's been used for decades. It turns complex characters into punchlines and makes people question what message is being sent. When word got out that Perry even tried to get Kevin Hart, a man known for his tough, hyper-masculine image, to throw on a dress for laughs, people were shocked. Like, seriously, why does that need to keep happening? It's not edgy anymore. It's tired. And for a lot of folks, it's not just unfunny, it's offensive. It reduces black men to jokes instead of showing them as full, layered human beings.
They tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you wouldn't do, for...
Definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. Protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
So here's the contradiction. On one hand, Perry's done real work to give black actors, writers, and crew members jobs. His studio in Atlanta is massive. It's created space for hundreds of creatives who might never have gotten their foot in Hollywood's door. That's real power, real opportunity, and it's changed lives.
Right, you see the money they'll put behind an unknown white talent just starting out, right? When we all came out, this goes from Martin's show to me and Malcolm's show to Jamie Foxx's show, so on and so forth. They put us on these new networks. Remember they had UPN, I used to call it the You Pick a network. Every black show creates this network. Once this is built on our backs, they sell the fuck. Where's UPN at?
But on the other hand, the kind of stories he tells and the way he tells them, that's where it gets messy. His female characters especially have come under fire. Think about Medea, or the mad black woman trope that pops up in so many of his movies. They're over the top, angry, dramatic, and while they get laughs, they also feed old, harmful stereotypes about black women. That's where the concept of misogynoir comes in, a term created by scholar Moya Bailey to describe the unique blend of racism and sexism that black women face. Perry's work, even when it gives actresses jobs, often reinforces those same ugly ideas about how black women should act. So it's complicated. He's both helping and hurting at the same time. And that brings us to a tough question. Do the ends justify the means? Can you celebrate someone for creating opportunities while also calling out the damage their content might do? It's a conversation that's getting louder by the day, and people aren't afraid to challenge Perry's legacy anymore. Then came another controversy that turned the heat up even more, his TLC show, Too Close to Home. Instead of focusing on the community that built his brand, Perry filled the cast with mostly white actors. And his loyal fans, they did not take it well. The backlash was immediate. Many felt abandoned, like he turned his back on them after using their support to rise to the top. And when people called him out, his response just made things worse. He brushed it off as reverse racism, claiming people were unfairly attacking him for giving white actors a shot. But let's be real, reverse racism isn't even a thing. Racism is about power, history, and systemic control. And Perry knows that. The fact that he doubled down and even suggested he'd done enough for black people left a bitter taste in fans' mouths. Imagine hearing someone who built their empire off black audiences say in so many words that the debt's been paid. That's not empowerment, that's ego. And it's exactly why more and more people are questioning if Tyler Perry's success story came at a cost the community shouldn't have to pay. Let's be honest, calling it reverse racism was just a way for Tyler Perry to dodge accountability. It's a deflection tactic meant to downplay the real, deep-rooted racism that still keeps so many black creatives locked out of opportunity in Hollywood and beyond. Instead of owning up to the criticism, Perry brushed it off, and that didn't sit right with a lot of people. The way he handled the backlash came off as arrogant and tone-deaf, especially for someone who built his empire by claiming to represent the very community now calling him out. Fans who once looked up to him started feeling betrayed. His dismissive attitude made it seem like he'd outgrown the struggle, like he'd forgotten the people who lifted him to success in the first place. And when he tried to justify his stance by bragging about how many black actors and crew members he's hired over the years, it didn't help his case. Instead of sounding humble or grateful, it sounded defensive, like he was saying, "I've already done enough, so I don't owe y'all anything else." That hit hard, because what people were asking for wasn't a pat on the back. They were asking for respect, accountability, and representation that means something. This whole situation became a major turning point for many longtime fans. The Tyler Perry brand, once seen as a symbol of Black empowerment, started to feel more like a polished machine focused on control and image. The trust that used to be there, it's fading fast. More and more people are questioning if Perry still stands for the community or if he's only standing for himself. So now the question is, has Tyler Perry lost touch with the people who made him a star, or is he just playing a dangerous game with Hollywood power? Let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.